Okay. Now let's talk about Clark and Indianafever. But before we get started, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Gertie Mac Show, taking y'all time to subscribe to the channel, liking and sharing my videos. I really appreciate all that. Now let's go. Well, it's time for Indianafever and Chris's sides to bake up another win like a cake. Now they're going to be taking on Seattle Storm. Now they are a much better team than Phoenix Mercury. Phoenix Mercury, they play well. But Seattle Storm, they have been getting the edge on Caitlin Clark and Indianafever. So it's time for, if you ask me, this game right here is to really show, is they ready to keep moving on. Getting that win against Phoenix Mercury, since the break, that was an amazing win at home. This is another game at home. It's going to be packed like a can of sardines. So, people are ready to see Caitlin Clark, Lil Boss, and everybody else to put on a performance like they did the other day. But in this post-game interview that we're going to talk about, Caitlin Clark has been dealing with a lot of, she get fouled hard. Not as much as it was in the beginning. But she spoke on being physical and basically kind of like not just letting people push her around. Caitlin Clark is not going to do that. But even though people were testing her like an ACT, Caitlin Clark was standing her ground. But y'all check out this video of her talking about being physical.
James.
Caitlin, I'm nerding out about this, and I wanted to ask you, but when it comes to your dribble drives, how much better do you think you are like hand-to-hand combat and like just getting people's hands off of you with using your hands, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I feel like I probably don't even realize what I'm doing it half the time. I think that's probably something I accepted more so in college. I think the physicality definitely increased over the course of my career. And then as you come into the league, it's just going to be more physical. That's how it is. So I think just, it's going to be something that you have to accept. Like, they're not going to make calls like that. It's going to be physical. But you can also be physical back with them and use it to your advantage. If somebody's being physical with you, don't let them just push you around all the time. So I think that's something that, I don't consciously think about during the game. It's just something that kind of comes natural as you work on it and get more used to it. Especially when you're attacking or setting up screens or things like that.
Tony.
I asked you about Kelsey after the last game. I'm curious if before being here you played with anyone kind of similar to her, any guard that you had to play with like you played with her?
That's tough. I don't know. I think she's so unique. Honestly, I think her speed. There's nobody I really played with that has the speed that she has. And the way she can finish her on the rim, but also be, a really good catch and shoot 3-point shooter. She creates off the dribble. I don't really think there's really anybody I've played with that is as similar to her, just from a standpoint of how she can do multiple different things. And for her size, it's really impressive too. Like, she finishes around the basket really well for her size, and she's really fast. And I think you can kind of see us starting to develop our chemistry more and more, especially in transition. I think she's really starting to read my eyes and understand exactly what, I want here and there in transition. And, it's created a lot of fun plays for us.
Shout out to Scott Agnes for that clip. You can check out the whole thing on his page. But like I said, Caitlin Clark, she is prepared. She loves basketball. She loves sports in general. But you can tell that she gets in the film and she gets in the room to try to study to see how she can correct and get better just going forward. Just because you're a great player don't mean you don't have to continue to be better. And she is doing it. And it's going to spread throughout the team. It's just all about how Christie's sides make adjustments and manage this team by having the number 1 draft pick on your team and a great 3-point shooter and a great passer. But outside of basketball, WNBA, Caitlin Clark opened up about, basically spending time with her parents and doing other things throughout the city to support sports in Indiana. Y'all check out this video right here.
So Caitlin, we saw you were at the game last night in the suite. Is that the same suite you were in for the swimming trials, or are you just going suite by suite?
I think I might be going suite by suite. It was weird. It felt so different being in there for the swimming trials than this, obviously. It's just the way they had it separated and had a whole pool in there is kind of hard to comprehend. But obviously my first Colts game, and even though it wasn't really a real game, it was still a lot of fun. My dad was the one that wanted to go, so he's a big football fan, so he was enjoying it, and it was fun for me too. And getting to do stuff outside of basketball and take your mind away from it is really fun for myself. So hopefully there'll be a few more where I can go to that are, the real deal, but the fans were pretty excited too.
I think Mina's taking care of Coach, so let's just try naturally passing. There you go, Matt and James.
Yeah, I can kind of on a similar vein. What's it been like to, whether it's the swim trials or whether it's the Colts game, just continue to integrate into the city 4 months into your pro career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see how the city supports all the sports here and the events that we have here. It's a great city to host certain events in, if I'm not mistaken. I think the women's Final Four comes here in a few years. The men's Final Four is here. It's just a great city that really supports basketball, supports all sports. And for me, I'm a sports lover. I grew up loving every kind of sport, watching whatever it was that was on TV. So for me, I try to get out and support as much as I can. And then the Indians game was happening last night too at the same time. So it was a nightmare getting home, having to drive through all of that. But it's hard to choose between you want to go to the baseball game, you want to go to the football game. But it was definitely a good weekend for Indianapolis sports with all the events going on. It would definitely be a fun one to be at this weekend in the city.
Now, like I say, this is a very important game against Seattle Storm. Coming back from the WNBA break, they had a good win against Phoenix Mercury. A very good win. Now, like I said, they're playing a much better team record concern. Any team can lose on any given day. But Seattle Storm has gave Christy Size and Indianafever a lot of trouble. So the adjustments that they can make from losing that lead with Phoenix, see can they apply it today and Christy Size make the necessary adjustments. I feel like this game right here is the real test for Christy Size and, for her coaching concern, because everybody has that big question mark on can Christy Size coach this team. But long as she let the team, run at a fast pace, I feel like they can really get this win over Seattle Storm at home. Because if they don't get this win, it's going to be a heartbreaker. Because this home court, and you don't have that many games left before you make that push to the playoffs. But y'all get in the comments there what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share this video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop another video. Also follow my social media at GertieMac15. Holla.